So, Steve, what can we read from the China response to Tsai meeting with the U.S. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy?
Well, I think it's obvious to expect that Beijing's perspective would be they have to show some sort of displeasure. And similar to what happened last year after Nancy Pelosi's visit, highly controversial visit to Taiwan, there were military drills conducted over the last 3 days that, according to the People's Liberation Army, concluded yesterday. There were live fire exercises. There were some, according to Taiwan military officials, 91 PLA aircraft that surrounded the island yesterday as of 6 p.m., including 12 warships, 54 of those warplanes crossing the median line of the Taiwan Strait into the southwest in the air identification zone of Taiwan. But if you want to have my take on this, I think they had already, both China and the United States, kind of damped down the volatile rhetoric before Tsai Ing-wen went to California and met with Kevin McCarthy, the U.S. House Speaker, so not to inflame tensions even worse. It was more muted, I think, China's response to the meeting between Tsai and McCarthy than Pelosi's visit to Taiwan, mid to late last year. Probably because, for one, Pelosi's visit came at a highly politically charged time in China, where Xi Jinping needed to portray strength to the domestic audience ahead of the National Congress, where, of course, he secured his third term as president. So the politics and the optics were a bit different. Still, China felt it needed to have some show of display of force to show that they are displeased with this visit. Now, separately, of course, we do know that Emmanuel Macron had just come back from Beijing, where he did meet with Xi Jinping. It's interesting because Joseph Wu, who's the foreign minister of Taiwan, as you alluded to, he spoke to Bloomberg News yesterday in an interview. He says at least two, or at least one French lawmaker delegation will be going to Taiwan, most likely to talk about semiconductors and economic issues on the week of April 24th. We're hearing that another French lawmaker delegation will also go as early as this week. Now, Macron had some interesting comments to French media. He says, the worst thing would be to think that we Europeans must become followers on this topic and take our cue from the U.S. agenda and on Chinese overreaction. So again, the French president looking to play a middle road role, if you will, between China and the United States for their economic interests.